Imagine this. You spend your entire life trying to fit in, striving for approval, shaping yourself according to expectations that aren't even your own. You seek validation, fear judgment, and hold on tightly to the idea that your worth depends on how others perceive you. But what if everything you've been taught about caring too much is actually holding you back? What if the key to true happiness, confidence, and success isn't in controlling everything, but in letting go? Carl Jung, a thinker centuries ahead of his time, explored this paradox deeply. His philosophy is a guide to inner freedom, self-acceptance, and the art of living without unnecessary burdens. He challenged the very foundations of what we believe about identity, success, and society's pressures. By the end of this journey, you'll understand why the moment you stop caring about external validation, everything in your life starts falling into place. Think about it. How much of your stress and frustration comes from trying to meet expectations that aren't even yours? How often do you hold yourself back, afraid of being judged? How much energy do you spend worrying about things that, in the grand scheme of life, hold little real meaning? Jung's philosophy reveals a simple yet powerful truth. The more we let go of external pressures, the more we align with our authentic selves. He believed life is unpredictable, perfection is an illusion, and self-acceptance is the highest form of wisdom. But here's where most people get it wrong. Not caring doesn't mean being indifferent, lazy, or unmotivated. It doesn't mean withdrawing from life or ignoring responsibility. It means freeing yourself from the constant need for approval, the fear of rejection, and the exhausting habit of overanalyzing every action. It means living on your own terms, being present in the moment, and understanding you don't have to prove anything to anyone. Jung spent much of his life reflecting on human behavior. He observed that people are often prisoners of their own minds, caught in endless cycles of worry, self-doubt, and insecurity. He questioned why we allow the opinions of others to shape our decisions, why we cling to control when life is inherently uncertain, and why we chase ideas of success that aren't even ours. Most importantly, he asked, what would happen if we simply stopped caring about these things? When you stop caring about being perfect, you begin to embrace your flaws. When you stop seeking external validation, you start living for yourself. When you stop trying to control everything, you make space for life to unfold naturally. And here's the paradox. The less you care about proving yourself, the more powerful you become. Think of the most confident, charismatic people you've met. Are they the ones constantly seeking approval, over-explaining themselves, and trying to be liked by everyone? Or are they the ones who seem at ease, unbothered by small worries, unapologetically themselves? Jung understood this secret long before modern psychology confirmed it. People are drawn to authenticity. When you stop fearing failure or judgment, you gain something far more valuable: freedom. The freedom to take risks without overthinking. The freedom to express yourself without hesitation. The freedom to simply exist without constantly measuring your worth by external standards. And here's where it gets fascinating. Once you let go of unnecessary worries, you don't just find peace. Things in your life actually start to improve. Relationships become more genuine. Opportunities come naturally. Decisions become easier because they're based on what you truly want, not what you think you should want. This is the essence of Jung's philosophy. Most of our suffering comes from resisting reality, from trying to force life into a mold that doesn't fit. But when you release that resistance, everything begins to align. Ask yourself, how many times have you hesitated to speak your mind because you feared judgment? How often do you replay conversations in your head, worrying about how you were perceived? How much of your life has been shaped by expectations that were never truly yours? Jung invites us to step away from these self-imposed limitations. He challenges us to embrace uncertainty, accept imperfection, and stop letting fear dictate our choices. This is just the beginning. As we dive deeper, we'll uncover practical ways to apply this mindset, ways to break free from mental barriers, make decisions confidently, and truly experience the freedom that comes from letting go. Jung's philosophy is not an abstract idea. It's a practical guide to transforming how you experience life. What happens when you truly embrace this mindset? When you stop chasing approval, worrying about every possible outcome, and allow fear to stop controlling you. Imagine waking up one morning realizing most of the pressures weighing you down were never real. The rules you followed, the expectations you tried to meet, the fears that kept you stuck, all illusions created by society, conditioning, and your own mind. Jung understood human nature. We are naturally anxious, overthinking, trying to predict the future, and struggling against the unknown. But what if happiness isn't in solving every problem, but in surrendering to the fact that some things are simply out of our control? One of Jung's most powerful lessons: the world will never fully understand you, and that's perfectly okay. How often do we waste energy trying to explain ourselves, justify our choices, or prove our worth to people who may never see us? We hold back true opinions to avoid conflict, suppress real desires to fit in, constantly seeking validation, when the only approval that truly matters is our own. Much of our suffering comes from caring too much about things that do not serve us. People tie themselves in knots over petty concerns, grudges, fears, and insecurities that add no value to their lives. But notice this: the moment you stop obsessing over a problem, a solution naturally appears. When you stop chasing someone's attention, they suddenly become more interested. This is no coincidence. It's a reflection of a deeper truth. When you let go, life flows. Most people resist this idea. They believe that if they stop caring, they'll lose motivation, that letting go means giving up. But this is a misunderstanding. Not caring doesn't mean apathy or laziness. It means shifting focus to what truly matters and freeing yourself from burdens that add no real value. Jung encourages us to embrace imperfection, not just in ourselves, but in the world. He understood that striving for control is an exhausting, never-ending battle. Life is unpredictable, and no matter how much we plan or try to control, there will always be the unexpected. So why not surrender to this truth? Accept that mistakes, failures, and uncertainties are simply part of existence. Imagine how much lighter you'd feel if you stopped trying to control every detail, stopped overanalyzing every decision, stopped fearing failure, and instead saw it as just another step in your journey. Jung reminds us, every great leader, thinker, and artist faced failure, rejection, and misunderstanding. But they didn't let those things define them. They moved forward, unbothered by the crowd's opinions, because they understood that true success lies in living authentically. And here's the twist: when you adopt this mindset, people notice. You become more confident, magnetic, and in control, not by forcing anything, but by no longer wasting energy on things that don't serve you. Have you ever wondered why some people seem effortlessly successful while others struggle, despite working hard? The difference isn't just talent or intelligence. It's mindset. Those who thrive understand detachment from unnecessary worries lets them focus on what truly matters. Jung's wisdom: the more we release, the more we gain. Stop fearing failure, you take more risks. Stop seeking approval, you become authentic. Stop trying to control everything, you open space for unexpected opportunities. That's why the philosophy of not caring, when applied correctly, isn't giving up, it's gaining freedom. Think about your life. How much stress comes from worrying about what others think? How often have you hesitated to pursue your desires out of fear of judgment? Jung's approach liberates us from these mental chains. The past is gone, the future uncertain, The only moment you truly own is the present. When you fully embrace this, everything begins to shift. So today, ask yourself, what can you let go of? What fears or attachments no longer serve you? Imagine how your life would change if you simply trusted that things will fall into place. Because when you stop caring about the wrong things, the right things find their way to you. And that is the true power of Jung's philosophy. Thank you for watching. If this resonated, like, share, and subscribe for more journeys into freedom, growth, and wisdom.